Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that whenever we release a video at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, you'll be the first to receive the same. Remember to share the video with your friend, your mama, papa, girlfriend, boyfriend, and your side chick and side man. Yes, and post a comment below, even just to post and say, I am here to show your appreciation of the work that we are doing here at the Jamaica Young Police Channel. And thanks for being a part of the movement. So, moving on. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we hate criminals with a passion. So here's one of them. This guy name is Javon Pinnock. Yeah, aka Froggy. Have a distinct scar on the left side of his face, and him eye go all the way down to him cheekbone. And you know, more or less is a Jamaican do that, you know, telephone cut. I don't know how them come by that thing for, you know, to scar people face like that, and that it's just awful, but terrible people. So this man that you're looking at, his name is Javon Pinnock, aka Froggy. Yeah, Froggy them call him on the street, and he's wanted in New York, in Queens, New York, for the murder of Javon Jamison, a Jamaican youth them called Blingers. Yes, and Blingers was killed almost 2 years ago by this man and another man named Christopher King. Christopher King is in custody in New York, awaiting trial for the murder of Jamison. So we are appealing, we are begging, beseeching you Jamaican people in Jamaica and the diaspora, wherever you see this man, to inform the police, whether it's 119 or 911, and let them know that this man is wanted in New York for the murder of Javon Jamison, so that this man can be placed in custody or go straight to the departure home where he belongs. And that's justice. And we say that because we hate criminals with a passion, because there was no reason for this man to kill Blingers, because Blingers was not a threat to him at the time. It was murder, clear murder. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yeah, so you know what, the Jamaica Young Police Channel, I will give you the truth and the real mama papa truth. We don't believe in smearing people, characters, and we don't believe in spreading propagandas or lies on people, because that only destroy people. We believe in uplifting people and, you know, speaking the truth. So welcome to part one of a gripping and long overdue 4-part investigative series. A series that will shape the very foundation of lies, deception and character assassination in Jamaica's criminal and political history. Today, for the very first time in your life, you are going to hear the truth. Not hearsay, not rumors, not political propaganda, but the unfiltered truth, straight out of one of the detectives. Yes, we can tell you, this man was a PMP police. Yeah, PMP, you know, criminal organization police officer. The man used to run, because I know the man from your youth. Yeah, when I said that, because the man is an ordinary police. The man is a bad police, but him get wind up in politics, and you know, later on you will hear some one and two little things. But as a man, if you go back, he's one of the old-time detective who from the get-go of this program that come on and share some intimate details of himself involving in some shooting with some of the known criminals in West Kingston back in the 70s and early 80s. Yes. So he's one of the detectives who was physically present at one of Jamaica's most haunting crime scenes, the rape and brutal murder of young Dianne Smith. Dianne Smith was a student of Immaculate Conception High School, full of promise, very beautiful. You're going to hear him describe her. She's an Indian girl too. Yes, intelligence and innocent. Her murder in 1983 shocked the conscience of the nation. It was an act of pure evil. But what followed in the years after that was just a sinister political charge campaign to pin this heinous crime on someone who was never even on the police radar. A young man named Daryl Vaz, son of the highly respected Douglas Vaz, would become a target not of justice but of vengeance, political sabotage and calculated lies. But before we get to that twisted political narrative, let's return to the scene, to the real beginning, the investigation, the real detectives who walked through the nightmare, the men who confronted the raw aftermath of this brutal crime. The officers who responded that day were not ordinary cops. They were elite enforcers. Bigger Ford, yes, Cornwall Bigger Ford, Valentine Piggy Williams, Arthur Forbes, and the late Dadrick Henry. Giants in the Kingston Metropolitan crime fighting machine. These 4 officers, where I tell you, from the Jamaican police, these are not ordinary police. That when the man name ringing at the 70s and 80s, you know, say, these police officers come for you. Yeah, man. 2 places you go. Either you departure lounge or you go to jail. And most of the time, you straight to departure lounge because them man are not deal with ordinary criminal. Them deal with cold-hearted, wicked criminal. These men were the living nightmare of a gunman and murderer in the criminal underworld. They were fearless, relentless, and committed to one thing, justice. When these 4 men arrived at the crime scene, they weren't there for politics or speculations. They were there to gather evidence, protect the victim's dignity, and hunt down whoever committed this inhumane act. Not one of them mentioned Daryl Vaz. Not one shred of evidence pointed in his direction. The idea of him being a suspect was far from reality. That even in their wildest theory, his name never came up. So how did this came about? So how did his name become attached to this case 3 years later? It was not truth. It was not evidence. It was a lie. A political motivated lie concocted by enemies who saw Daryl Vaz as a threat. And like many wicked lies in Jamaican politics, it was designed to ruin a man's life, weaponize the memory of a murdered girl, and manipulate the public. This is why we are telling this story, not just for the sake of Daryl Vaz, but for the truth, for justice, and for the memory of Dianne Smith, who deserve to be remembered with dignity, not exploited for politics. So as we peel back the layers of this case in the episode to come, you will hear things never before revealed. You will be introduced to the reality of police work in the 1980s, Jamaica, and you will come face to face with the forces, both criminal and political, who try to twist a tragedy into a political weapon. This is part 1. Stay with us. What you are about to learn will forever change the way you see this case and the people who turn it into a lie. So you watch, and we can tell you that we have never received pay or anything to do any job for the Jamaica Labour Party. The only criminal organization ever try for PS to do things is the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. We don't want no guy, nothing. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. We hate liars and wicked people with a passion, just like how we hate criminals. Yeah, so we're always saying that whenever we're doing a video, always look at the LCD and you will know where we're going with the story. You know, everything that we give you over here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we just give you the real mama papa truth, because that's what it's all about. The truth shall set us free, all of us. So we're going to tell you about the Dianne Smith murder case that the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization said Daryl Vaz committed in 1983. So today you will hear from one of the detectives who was on the scene of the murder, and even after, you're going to hear directly straight from the mouth of one of the detectives who actually visit the scene of the brutal murder of Dianne Smith, the bright young student of the Immaculate Conception High School in Kingston who was savagely murdered in 1983. At the time, I too was a young man attending high school like many Jamaicans in my age group back then. I remember the shock and the outrage that rippled across the island. It was one of those crimes that seared itself into the conscience of the nation. The murder of a promising schoolgirl full of life, dreams and innocence. But what followed in the years after was a textbook example of how truth can be hijacked, reputation ruined, and lies manufactured by those who walked in darkness. The same people. Yes, you have to understand, this. The same people who always, the same people who always, them follow, but what follow in the years after the textbook example of how truth can hijack, reputations ruin, lives manufactured by those who walk darkness. The same people who hide behind political power and propaganda. 3 years after Dianne Smith's death, out of nowhere, the name of Daryl Vaz, son of highly respected Douglas Vaz, a man who gave years of service to Jamaica's development, was suddenly thrown into the mix. And the reason why I would say Daryl, look here, whether or not you want to believe it, Douglas Vaz, although Douglas Vaz was a labourer, he provide many jobs for people of Jonestown and Concrete Jungle. He have a brazier factory across Euro Circle. So we are telling you that because we know that for a fact. We don't know Douglas or Daryl, we just tell you. You understand? So let that sink in. The police in the initial investigation never once mentioned Daryl Vaz's name. Not one report, not one witness, not one shred of evidence pointed to him. Yet, 3 years later, his name magically appeared like smoke in the air, carried by whispers, gossips, and political malice. This was not coincidence. This was a calculated lie, a deliberate effort to destroy a man's name, a conspiracy rooted in political evil, politics, deception and venom of the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. At the time it was a PNP criminal organization. They never delved into the madness now. So now let's be absolutely clear. I am not here to defend Daryl Vaz or any political party. I am not a GLP. I am not a PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization supporter. Never will, because they are evil at best, because they have destroyed my community, destroyed people in my family's life. I stand on one platform only, the truth. And the truth is this. Just like how these very same parasites try to assassinate my character with lies, slander and manufactured narratives, they did the same to Vaz. And if they could do it to me, they can do it to him. They could do it to you too. So today, I want you to listen carefully. You are going to hear from a man who was there, a detective, who responded to the original crime scene in 1983. But before we go there, we're going to go in depth and go back in time, and then we're going to let you hear from the detective himself. He's going to walk you through what really happened from the moment they received the call from police control, how the investigation unfolded, and how Daryl Vaz was never on their radar. How them even end up in a Geisel, St. Catherine, to capture the killer. And you're going to hear too that a prominent businessman who claimed that he jogged every morning and no one questioned him, who has said some things which is fitting of not only a pedophile, but someone who should have been questioned, who is the murderer. And that man is still there. We don't know if he's alive. And we have done some research, and we don't want, you have to understand that you can't just get up and call people name, but you're going to hear from the detective, because he had nothing to do with it. Daryl Vaz has nothing to do with it. So this is why when many people don't like me, I don't bend the truth. I don't sell out. I don't dance around facts to please crowds. I stand for justice, not popularity. I stand for facts, not fiction. The lies have gone on far too long. It's time for the truth to rise to the surface and wash these political parasites away. This is about clearing a man's name. This is about correcting the record. But most importantly, this is about defending the legacy of Dianne Smith, a young girl whose tragic death should not be used as political ammunition in the hands of liars. Let the truth be heard. Let justice roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. So stay tuned. Yeah, so after 27 years of silence, suffering, Member of Parliament Daryl Vaz break his silence and vicious rumors tying into Dianne Smith murder. So this is imagine for 27 years that this is 2010 and the man break him silence. 27 years. Imagine you have all children and then you hear say you're a rapist or you're a murderer. Everybody, most of the dummy them low IQ people believe. Even the American embassy, the American State Department say, look here, Daryl Vaz is an American citizen, and at the time when this young girl loses her life, the man was in Florida. Them no business with that. Facts is irrelevant to these low IQ people. That's why I tell you, say you can't give them pies if you drink and then believe so somebody else are going to die, in which a them are going dead. So Daryl Vaz, after 27 years, so imagine her even him wife, when time she and him a date and them thing there. How him convince her if he tell her, say boy, well, he didn't have to convince her because him have him passport, so say look here, America, well more or less she know that and them thing there. So all of them hate the man, them hate this man because this man is an outspoken man. Whether or not you want to believe it, Daryl Vaz, anytime him talk, him command that amount of attention because I'm vice, I know him speak. I can't tell you that. I one time ever see Daryl Vaz in my life, and here in Florida, as I said before, at Dykes Road and Miramar Parkway. Yes, you understand. So Daryl Vaz declares, enough is enough. The truth must be told. Well, I tell you from theme own words, So on the sacred Easter Sunday, the spirit of an innocent young girl, Dianne Smith, cries out from her grave. Not just a justice over a brutal killing, but against those who have desecrated her memory with political driven lies. And all of this has been done by the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. That's why I keep telling the people them in my community of Concrete Jungle, Jonestown, and all around who support the PMP. If you want a better life and a better liberty, and you want to be free, if you notice all of the people them support them dead early because you have to lie, and when you lie, it affects your heart, it affects your mind, it affects everything about you. Yes, big thanks to everyone who reach out via the channel's telephone number to show interest in subscribing to our new platform, one that builds to speak truth to power and impact every single person living in America and around the world. It doesn't matter if you are black, white, yellow, green, blue or red. This message is for all people who believe in freedom, truth and justice. Yes. As we have said before, the name of the new channel speaks for itself. United we win, divided we lose. And you're looking at, most people say that they cannot find it and all kind of things. So now, getting the feedback from most of you people, in which we can't even count the amount of people that reach out to us and leave message. We cannot find it. You have to understand that my voice, this voice is not a voice that has been loved by the powers that be. Because when you speak truth, they try to censor in every way. But guess what? We're not gonna stop, So united we win, divided we lose. That's not just a slogan. It's a fact. It's a call to rise above fear and stop playing it safe, while the system quietly chews up and spit us out. Even you. Cowards might think they are staying out of trouble by staying silent, but in the end, we just say it runs there spiritually, mentally, financially, and politically. So here's the truth. It is better to live a life and die as a free, honest, decent, honorable, and truthful human being than to exist as an obedient, broken slave begging for crumbs from a table that was never built for you. For over 400 years, our ancestors, we are taught black people, cried out to a God. They were taught to fear, kneeling and praying to a man in the sky, while their bodies were chained and their minds conditioned. That didn't free them. What did? Knowledge, courage, unity. Men like Taki, who the same maroons in Jamaica kill, chop off his head and put on a pike. Taki is the one why the United States of America exists today as a republic, but they won't teach the white people in America. A black man who took on the British Empire and won. And it's time we walk that same path. Any bolder? This new channel is not for the weak-hearted, the lukewarm, or for the comfortably numbed. It is for those who know who they are, God's children, defined by nature, fearless by choice. If that's you, welcome on. To the rest, stay away. We don't need friends who are secretly enemies. We don't need deadweight doubters or deceivers. When we say enemies, we're talking about everything that stands against the truth. Lies, manipulation, division, cowardice, and blind obedience. No more lies, no more games, no more silence. This channel is the battleground for truth, and we are not backing down. How many times can they kill us once? Millions of our ancestors has died for this, for the little freedom that we're enjoying. God created every man equal, but some think that they're superior. And those who think that they're superior, just look, not one of them have ever been the fastest one in the world. Their genes are recessive. Our genes are dominant. So please, subscribe to the channel. We know that we are being sabotaged and tampered by the powers that be. But as time goes by, the truth will reveal. People who speak the truth live long. No, not because PJ Patterson are 90. And not because he speak the truth. It's because God have a plan for him. Because he's wicked. Sometimes God keep the wicked long and make them suffer before them dead. So Dianne Smith, I tell you what Daryl Vaz said, Dianne Smith, her soul weeps, not only for her own justice, but for another victim, Daryl Vaz, whose character and integrity was assassinated, his innocence torn to shreds by baseless accusation that stain his life like blood and linen. Imagine all your own children in my school in a Jamaica, although them are American, and if you defend them father, say them father and a murder, what our wicked set of people them. For nearly 3 decades, Daryl Wesley Vaz has endured an invisible sentence, imprisoned not behind bars, but within a dungeon of slander, suspicion, and political sabotage, accused of one of the most vile acts, the rape and murder of 14-year-old Dianne Smith. I know that feel when somebody lie about you, especially in a rape. You understand? And you know, you feel that hatred towards a person. There's nothing can make you get any form of justice. No money, nothing. The only justice, is the one that in hell for them. So without a shred of truth, he has lived through hell and hurt. On May 4th, 1983, Dianne Smith was walking to school along Stonehill Road when her young life was tragically cut, raped, stabbed, strangled and discarded in a gully. Like refuse, it was a monstrous act that shocked the nation. While Diane's suffering ending in that gully, the torment has continued for Daryl Vaz, who was born the cross of falsehood ever since. Lies has haunted every meal, every meeting, every moment of his public and private life. What happened when this wound deepened is knowing that these lies were not only peddled by political enemies, but by some of his own colleagues who smile in his face while stabbing him in the back for selfish gain. So while them pretend like they are Daryl Vaz a friend in a labor in a NDM, I will soon tell about that, because as I said before, and I'll say again, I'm the kind of person I believe in. Look here, if you believe in something, if you change, nothing wrong on anything there. But Daryl Vaz grew up as a labourite, and because him have a fall out with Edward, him father have a fall out with Edward, him got follow Bruce Golding. But as me, I don't follow people. If me, I born and grow in a belly I beast. One of the main reason why I denounce a PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization is because of what they imparted to us. Nothing good. Everything is destruction, destructive behavior, normalized criminality. That's why you can't get me to embrace it. Period. You can't get me to embrace a culture of killing people, lying on them. I like all this. Destroy the man. Try to destroy the man character, the man integrity and him reputation. And most of these people bite, even although the United States State Department come out and say, at the time when this girl was killed, the man was in America. Them no business with that. The truth is irrelevant. Is what make them feel good because Daryl Vaz is them enemy, kind of labor, right? Them don't see him as Jamaican. They themselves don't see themselves as Jamaican. Them see themselves as PMP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, supporters, voters and activists. And as you know, there's no honest criminal. None. So still, one rare moment of decency stood out. A phone call in 1986 from opposition leader Michael Manley. Speaking as a father, he condemned the graffiti that smear Vaz's name and personally apologized and act that Daryl Vaz say he has never forgotten. So what happened now? When Daryl Vaz now decided in 86 him to run for councillor in a Barbican as a GLP candidate, I saw them start the graffiti, the PMP them. So Vaz a rapist and a him kill Dianne. Him a rapist and murder and a him kill Dianne Smith. All over, you know. I saw them do it in a night, you understand? And Michael Manley, because it was written in a PMP color. At the time it was red. A PJ changed it from red to orange because red was, them say, blood a go run. Because that's what it mean, you know. And then them have this PMP zone. All liberate keep out. I saw them use them create all of them garrison and all of the zinc fence community. And I saw the zinc fence them say I saw the people their minds stay corrupt. Because behind the zinc fence I appear dirtiness inside there. How you mean? I tell you that. Are we seeing it for ourselves? So far as no, he was not alone. Many have been crucified on crosses of lies. But what remain unanswered to this day? Why was he chosen? Why was his name weaponized in such a cruel, deliberate way? The wicked rumor emerged from the shadows in 1986, 3 years after Dianne Smith murder, after 2 men already been charged and tried and convicted. During the entire investigation, the name Daryl Vaz was never uttered. Never. So there is absolutely no connection between Daryl Vaz and the murder of Dianne Smith. Confirmed retired Assistant Commissioner of Police Isadore Dick Ebert, one of the top investigator on the case. His declaration cut through 23 years of lies like a sword through fog. That never mattered to them, to people like Dayton Campbell and the man with them saying love kids meal. In all our investigation, formal, informal, and rumor checks, the name Daryl Vaz never surfaced. Ebert emphasized, not once. I am baffled as to why this man's name became tied to the case years later. Knowing that no words from his own lips would suffice to clear his name, Vaz chose silence, suffering with dignity, carrying a burden too heavy for one man alone, while protecting his family from the poison of political propaganda. In a rare moment of vulnerability, his wife, Anne-Marie Vaz, revealed in 2009 how politics nearly shattered their marriage, the pain of watching her husband constantly dragged through the mud, and was, in her words, emotionally draining. That's why I like that. Hey, honestly, I don't know her, I'm just like her. Yeah, between me and her, give me her any time over Lisa Anna because she's authentic. She's not a traitor. Our mind is not corrupted. And you can't corrupt Anne-Marie Vaz. She's a decent and ethical Jamaican. We're not talking about because she's prettier, but we're talking about she as a human being. She never tell the black man, say for open them body and take it. Like a girl. I will love her for that. Yes. So some now ask, why speak out after so many years? Why not let sleeping dogs lie? His answer is resolute. Even Nelson Mandela got justice after 27 years. It's my time now. So the issue was unexpectedly reignite when veteran court reporter. Yeah, so we have now reached the end of part 1 of this powerful 4-part series. And if you have made it this far, I want to sincerely thank you for staying with us, for listening, learning, and walking with us through the dark corridors of truth, where a few dare to venture. To those of you who truly want knowledge, slap down and salute. You are the reason we continue to push forward, even when the forces of deception and suppression come against us. You are the reason we speak boldly and refuse to water down the truth. But let me remind you, loud and clear, this channel is not here for your entertainment. This is not TikTok. This is not some passing trend. This is the Jamaica Young Police channel, a truth-driven platform built on justice, facts, ethics, morality, and the courage to call out corruption and evil in high and low places. If you are here looking for comedy, gossips, or sweet little fairy tales to tickle your ears, you are in the wrong place. But if you are hungry for knowledge, truth, and liberation of the mind, welcome home. We are here to educate, to expose, and to uplift, not to pacify or placate. So, we are prepared to dive into part 2. I want you to reflect on what you have heard today. Let it sink in. Go back and listen again if you have to. Share it with your friends, your family, and your community. This is the kind of information that the mainstream media won't touch. Why? Because it threatens the narratives of the power-hungry elites and their foot soldiers in the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. They have built their legacy on lies. We are here to tear it down with truth, brick by brick, lie by lie. So stay tuned. Part 2 is coming same time. And trust me, it only gets deeper from here. Until then, walk good, stay sharp, and remember, truth has no expiration date, and neither justice. So have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police channel out.